My name is Sarah. Welcome to the It's a Sarah podcast. Today it is Friday, May 5, 2023, and this is episode 75. I love to talk. I love to knit, I love to crochet, and I love to talk. So that's the perfect combination for making a podcast on YouTube. I'm coming to you from the Netherlands, so excuse my Dutchy English. I make 2 episodes a week, every Monday and every Friday, and I make them as well. I don't know how to say it. As well in English as in Dutch. I think that's the right way. So be sure you pick the right one. Okay. I want to share you about my crafty adventures, my handwerkperikelen in Dutch, from the last days. But before I will start with that, I thought it would be nice to do a little short introduction because that's been a while. My name is Sarah. I'm 41 years old. I'm living in the Netherlands in a medium town, I guess, in the south of the Netherlands. And that's quite funny because the Netherlands is, we have a really small country. But I do live in the south, next to Belgium. I can bike to Belgium if I want to. I am married with a lovely husband, and we have 3 children together. One boy, he's 18 years old, and 2 girls, a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old. So they are all teenagers, and teenagers are perfect for knitting mothers. When they were little, I started crocheting. I was a crocheter before I was a knitter and a crocheter. And when they were little, I started crocheting, and it was always searching for time. But now I have so much knitting and crochet time. So it's the perfect thing to do when you have teenagers in the house, because you are busy and you are doing your own thing, but you are there when they need you. And I love that. I have a very quiet and peaceful life at the moment, and the sort of life I wished for many years. I used to be a teacher at the primary school when my kids were little and before I had kids. I also was a teacher on a Waldorf school a few years, a handwork teacher, a crafting teacher. But it was always way too busy for me. I can't keep up couldn't find a balance between being a lovely mother and a good teacher and a lovely wife and a lovely sister and friend and whatever. I think a lot of women are struggling with that. I was certainly struggling with that, and I wished for a calm and peaceful life every day, and now I have it. I quit my jobs as a teacher, and I'm just at home taking care of my family and our dog and myself and my knitting and crochet. So I have a lot of knitting time, and I really love to talk about my crafty adventures, my handwerkperikelen. I love to share them, and my kids and my husband and my family and my friends, they are interested. Some of them do knitting or crochet too. But I really want to talk a lot about it. And this is the perfect way, because I can talk to my phone and you can sit down at your own couch or chair or whatever where you are knitting and listening if you want to. And you can also stop me when you are getting bored. My husband, he can't. Oh, poor guy. Because when he walks away, I will come behind him. No, that's not true. Yeah, it's true. So this is perfect. I really love to watch other knitters and crocheters too on YouTube when I'm knitting or crocheting. So that's really nice to do. So I think that's all you need to know about me. I don't share a lot about my family on YouTube or Instagram because you can find me as It's a Sarah on Instagram. I do it in Dutch, but there's a translation button and it's all about the pictures, I guess. And you can also find me as It's a Sarah on Ravelry. There I keep quite good track of my projects, so you can find the details there. And if you can't find them, send me a message. All the links are down below. I don't share a lot about my family on the socials because it's my choice to be active on Instagram and YouTube, and it's all about the knitting, and I'm really very proud about my on my children, and but I don't want to share their names or faces because they have their own life, and I don't, it doesn't feel good to share them on YouTube, even if I absolutely want to every now and then, because they are so handsome and sweet and nice. And I did share my husband a little tiny bit in the last episode. the man in the yarn shop, the only man. Yeah, but he was okay with it. Okay, and I will knit him a cardigan. He asked, do you want to share a picture of me too then on your Instagram? I said, yeah, that's okay, but I will cut off your head on the picture. So, okay, but I didn't start the cardigan. That's, I can tell you that already. I would start it, his birthday was last Tuesday, and it was my plan to cast on his birthday, but I didn't really felt I didn't. We get there in a minute. But first, let's start with what I'm wearing, because I'm wearing my Corran cardigan, and I'm very happy with it. A few episodes back, I tell you all about this cardigan. It was a test knit for Rebecca Clow, the Creabea, and the pattern is out for 1 month, I guess. And I didn't wear it. I only wear it once because it was too cold for a short-sleeved cardigan. But now it's quite warm here. Although it was raining a lot, it is still warm, and it's perfect for now. I didn't make a good yarn choice because the yarn is really, it's not a summer yarn. It's a non-superwash yarn with cotton. It is, but it's a bit itchy, I guess. But the last two, I wear it yesterday and today. Although it is quite warm, it isn't itchy, so it's perfect. And I really love the fit. It's so pretty and it's so good. I love the color. It's so me. And I wear it on my Hinterland dress. I wear my Hinterland dresses all the time. I have 2 of them. I did start making one myself, but I am a disaster. A sewing disaster. And I didn't like it. And I have a knitting friend living around the corner, and she's a very good sewer. So I thought, could I ask her? So I did, and she said yes. And I did pay her for the sweater, for the dresses. And I did buy my own fabric, and of course you can't pay enough for a handmade dress. But I hope, it was nice to do that. And I really love them. Since I have them, I wear them all the time. There are my knitting uniform, and I'm feeling very happy in my knitting uniform. I'm also sitting at my knitting office by day, bedroom by night, and this is my happy place. Yeah, I keep my yarn downstairs, my yarn stash, because I don't want it here in my bedroom. I don't think I could sleep when I have all my yarn here. It's hard to get to bed every night because I'm always knitting in the night and in the evening, and I really feel that I need sleep, but I just want to knit and knit. I'm really a knitting addict. I'm not the only one, I'm quite sure. So, okay, let's start. Since Monday, I mainly knitted on my Montemuro socks. They are finished and they are on my feet right now, and I won't put them off because they are so cozy and nice. And you can see my new Birkenstocks. Oh, I'm so happy with them. Oh, 2 socks. I made a little video, so I will insert it somewhere, maybe here, maybe at the end. I can put out my Birkenstocks. I really love them. I never had this model. I'm really a Birkenstock fan. I have sandals and slippers with 1 strand, but the clogs, I guess these are really my house shoes. I wear them in winter all the time in house, and in summer I wear them outside. But I really needed new ones, and I thought let's choose this one, because then I can see my hand knitted socks better, and I really love them. They are so nice, also with bare feet. It is quite warm today, but When it starts raining, I get chilly feet, so I put on my Montemuro socks, and oh, they are really such a nice and warm hug for my feet. I don't want to put them off again. So you can see on the video that they are fitting really nice. And I will share. It's a pattern from Rosa Pomar, the Portuguese knitting designer and yarn producer from Retrosaria. And the pattern is designed for the book 52 Weeks of Socks from Laine. I said Laine, but someone told me it is Laine because it's Finnish. Volume 2, and it is sock number 11, I guess. This one. And I changed the main color and the contrast color. This is all gifted to me. There is a Dutch yarn shop, a really nice lady, Alexandra is her name, and her yarn shop is in Dordrecht, a really lovely town. When you visit the Netherlands, visit Dordrecht and visit Alexandra. Her yarn shop calls Rebel with a Twist. And she asked me if she could give me the book and the yarn, and I could make it and make some, do some advertising on my socials for her. So I really love those kind of collaborations with small shop owners, and I visited her shop, and it was really lovely, and we chatted, and she's such a nice and lovely lady. So all the knitters are lovely, I guess. I never met a bad knitter. Are you a bad knitter? Are you not nice? No, knitters are always. I think there are. I can connect with everyone, I guess. I don't know really. Yeah, I don't know. Knitters are all nice. But this is the Retrosaria Mondim. It's a non-superwash 100% sock yarn. And I changed the main color. The pattern is with a very dark navy blue, and I picked black and white, but I changed the main color is not, I didn't use the white one, but I did the black one, and I'm very happy with it because now I'm wearing my leggings, and I always struggle a bit when I'm wearing leggings and socks, and well, normally I really love my leg warmers, but it's too warm for leg warmers right now, and the black cuff is makes a good transition from legging to sock. It's not a very high contrast, and I like that. I feel good in it. So I'm very happy. I told a lot about these socks in my episode from last Monday. So I will try to keep it short. Keeping things short is not my talent, so I'm sorry. But I did knit the second sock Portuguese too, because I was a little bit doubting, shall I knit it continental because it goes quicker, but I did knit it Portuguese, and I really love the Portuguese knitting, and I really will use the Portuguese purl stitches when I'm knitting back and forth, but I will not knit a whole sock again in Portuguese knitting. But it was so fun to do, and I really used the buttons of my dress. Yeah, I really love it. I used 59 gram of the main color. I made the smallest size. My size, shoe size, feet size is 38. Is, I don't know, a European size. I guess when I have my sneakers are sometimes size 6, I guess. I think 38 is a little bit smaller than 6. I'm not quite sure. I'm not familiar with the US sizes. And the contrast color, I only used 28 grams. So there's enough on this cane to do another Montemuro sock. And I really love to do that once. It's not on my short list because there's too much on my short list already. But I really want to make this pair of socks again continental because I really love the stitch. It's mosaic knitting. It's really a lovely pattern, and I absolutely can recommend it. I enjoyed knitting it a lot. And when you are not familiar with Portuguese knitting, yeah, just try it. It's so fun and easy, and it's nice to have that technique in your knitting muscles. So yeah, I don't know. It's nice to have it. So I'm very happy with these socks. And I'm very happy they are on my feet now. I'm also very happy that they are finished. there is a little small tiny thing. The whole sock is knit on 2.5mm needles, but I chose to do the first part of the cuff on 2.25mm needles, because that is my normal sock needle, and the color work, the mosaic color work, I did on 2.5. But I forgot to go back to 2.25 for the toe, and the toe is only a single yarn, so only a black toe. It's a little small round toe, but I forgot, and it's knitted a bit on the loose side, and I can see my toes a little bit through, and I'm a bit worried because this is a non-superwash yarn with no nylon, that I will walk holes in it quite soon. So I think it would be better when I rip out the toes and knit them again on needle 2.25, but I don't want to. I was so happy they were finished. There is nothing in me wanting to rip out again and knit it again, and I think it will only cost me an hour or maybe 30 minutes only, but I don't want to. Maybe in a few days, but not now. Yeah, maybe I will regret this in a few weeks, but it is what it is. I can reknit them then anyway. We shall see. Okay, so I did cast on another sock last Tuesday. It was my husband's birthday, and my idea was to cast on his cardigan, the Greeting cardigan. And it was really lovely to do that on his birthday, but when it was that day, I didn't feel the cast on mood, especially because we were quite on the go. We had a nice day with our kids, and we went out, and also the cast on was with an I-cord cast on, and I did it. It's not quite hard, but it will take some attention. It would take some extra attention from me. And yeah, I wasn't feeling that. I was so focused on my Montemuro socks. I needed all my focus and discipline to finish those socks, because all the other knitting works were screaming, we want to be knit, we want to be knit. And then I'm even not talking about crochet, because there are also quite some crochet works screaming. So it's very busy at the sideline, and I decided, no, I want to finish those socks, because if I don't finish the second sock, I never have the second sock syndrome, because my socks are always an on-the-go work, and I pick them up and knit them on the go. But this was not an on-the-go work. I had quite a big administration for this in my crafting book. I think I could do it by head, quite natural and intuitive. The pattern, the mosaic colorwork pattern isn't hard. But I really, it is based on the traditional Portuguese knitting pattern, the Montemuro mountains, and the ladies knitted Montemuro sweaters, and it's very strong fabric, I guess. So it was not hard, but it was as if my brain said, oh, you are writing things down, then we don't have to think, so we won't. So my brain got lazy, and sometimes it's so nice to just stripe every row, and it feels so organized. And when I finished my first sock and I started the second sock, I could write down all the things I have to do, so it was very clear where I was in my sock process. And yeah, I don't know, it was really, my brain was very okay with not thinking, but just looking and knitting. I did make a mistake in the sock, and that was also interesting, because I only discovered my mistake after a few rows. So I have to fix. When I just started knitting, I would always rip out everything or knit it backwards to the row before my mistake, and that was all. They were both quite time consuming, but I feel since quite last year, 2 years, I knit for a few years, but I'm not a very experienced knitter. I don't know if I can say that still. You have knit so many things. I think I am. No, I don't know. I don't know what I am. An addict, that's for sure. but I don't know where in the experience level I am. I'm not a beginner anymore, but I'm also not very adventurous knitter, I guess. You just finished Portuguese socks with mosaic knitting. Why aren't you adventurous? That's quite funny. Yeah, okay. But I feel more confident for quite a while. So when I make a mistake, when it's in stockinette, that's not a problem at all. But also when I make a mistake in color work or in cables, I know it's my neighbor again. He's knocking. I know they. I feel very awkward right now because I don't know if he can hear me. I don't think so. Okay, just ignore that. Also, if he can hear you, it doesn't matter because you are a confident English-speaking knitter. Okay. But I feel more and more confident to fix my mistake just by dropping the stitches. Also, if it's in lace or cables or color work. And now it was mosaic knitting color work, and I had to drop, I think, 10 stitches over 6 rows. So I did that, and then it was a big mess on my needles. And my brain kind of panicked. Oh, we don't know what to do with this mess. And it's also, I think, my knitting, I'm sorry, this is very annoying, but I will finish. Knitting and crochet are very good for balancing your head, heart and hands. I learned that at the Waldorf school, that it's all about the balance between those three, and it's really true for me. When my head, heart and hands are balanced, I feel the best. But I have a very strong head. My head likes to take the leadership. That's not always. Sometimes it's very nice and very. I have a clever head. My head tells me she's very clever. But it's not always nice because sometimes I feel things from my heart. I really long doing some things, or I really. I don't know the word. Oh, there we go again. When you have, in Dutch we say verlangen, a longing. Do you say a longing? You really feel from your heart that you want it. It's really from your heart. Oh, I want that. And that can be everything, of anything. It can be material thing, but it's mostly you feel in the heart that you want to live your life that way, or you want to, you know what I mean. Longing. I don't know if you can say it. It's always, I have Google Translate, but it's on my phone and I can't search my phone because on my phone because I'm talking on my phone. And I really had fun with with my last struggle in words. The plumber's crack, the cleavage. This is really, cleavage sounds very weird to me. I don't know, cleavage. It's but it's a word, and I think I pronounce it right. But the plumber's crack is not a Dutch joke at all. Not a joke, a joke, not a Dutch joke at all. It's worldwide. You have plumber's cracks over everywhere. But when you when you really feel in your heart that you want something a specific way. Quite often my head was telling, no, that's not possible. You can want it, but that's not possible. That's not gonna happen. It's too hard, too difficult. And then it's not nice to have a strong head. But while I'm knitting and crocheting, I really can manage the balance between my hand, heart and head. It's too much the same word. Head, hands and heart. Because my heart tells me what I want to make, which color, which yarn, which model, and that's really from my heart. My brain, my head, is really helping me with understanding patterns and organizing things and planning things, and my hands do the making. So they are very happy together with the three of them. They are really good friends and have a really good relationship, and sometimes some of the three is struggling, but mainly it's a very good practice to keep balance between those three, and I can really use that in other parts of my life. So that's really interesting, and I really enjoy that process. But with the mistake, when I got the mess on my needles, my head was screaming, no, what is happening there? And my hands told my head to calm down, and they took leadership at that point. And my head isn't used to lose the leadership, so it's a bit uncomfortable. But the mess on the needles was also very uncomfortable. So she was okay, do your thing. And my hands, they la, and we're zooming in on the small details, and just a little stitch in that big mess, and I could understand if that stitch has to be black or white. And then every stitch, every little small step I fixed, and suddenly there was no problem. There was no mistake. My fabric was looking very good. The mess was gone. All the stitches were straight on the needles, and it was just happened, and it went very well. And it's such a nice feeling you have then. Oh, my muscle knittings, my knitting muscles. My knitting muscles were feeling very big. And I felt really confident, and it's really nice to feel you that way. So I fixed the problem, and it was really good. I think that was all about my Montemuro socks. I can really recommend this socks. This pattern, it's really lovely. The book is very lovely. I would never have bought it, to be honest, just because I thought I'm not an adventurous sock knitter. Just do the plain socks. I love the plain socks. I prefer the plain socks. And now I have the book. I don't know. I felt a bit in love. I want to knit so many socks, not all, but so many socks out of the book. Yeah, I don't know when. I don't know how, but I want to. We shall see. Okay. But last Tuesday, the Montemuro socks were not a knitting work I could do traveling. So I want to make another sock. And I bought some DK weight sock yarn. A few skates only. It's not going well with my buy nothing new in 2023. Oh, it's really, I feel a bit ashamed. It went quite good, but last 2 weeks, it is, I don't know. I buy all the stuff, all the yarns, all the things. Yeah, it's really, but it's okay, I guess. I do feel why I started a buy nothing new year, because it's also quite overwhelming, all the opportunities. So I hope I will take it easy from now on. But I was at drinking coffee with my knitting friend Jessica from the dresses, and she was knitting on a DK weight sock, and I knitted DK weight socks for my youngest girl at the beginning of the year, but I didn't use a sock yarn, but just a regular DK weight yarn with some mohair for extra strength. She walked holes in them quite soon, so I will never do that again. She wear them as house socks. And Jessica told me she was knitting DK weight socks with this sock yarn. Actually, she had this colorway and I really loved it. It is Lana Grossa Meilenwijd, 8-fach, and a DK weight sock yarn. And I really loved the look of it and how it felt. And I showed my daughter online the shop. I couldn't find a lot of shops. Oh, I forgot to mention it in my Dutch podcast, I think. Oh, that's not good. I can mention it here, but it's not very interesting for you to know a Dutch yarn shop. Dol op Wol, that's the name of the yarn shop. and it was not in my neighborhood, so I ordered it online, and my daughter wants this colorway, and it was the colorway I love this. I didn't love this colorway. I'm not from the blues and the purples. It was my least favorite colorway. So I said, do you love this? No, I want that. Do you love this? No, I want that. Do you? No, okay. So I bought that, and then I want to knit some socks for the daughter of friends, and see her favorite color is blue, and there's blues and browns in this yarn ball. So I bought this one, and then I thought, oh, my other girl, my eldest daughter, she would like this one. And then I thought, oh, when I pick one, I don't have to pay mailing costs, so then I had 4. It is okay, but they are really flying from my needles. The first sock is done already. It was really easy on the way. I didn't use a pattern. I will talk you through my sock recipe, and you can find it on my Ravelry page too. It's linked down below, and I write it all down there. DK weight socks, I'm a toe-up knitter, I really prefer that. I casted on 10 stitches with a Turkish cast on. Then I increased every other row till I had 40 stitches in total. I knitted them on magic loop. I'm a magic loop sock knitter, so I had 20 stitches on each needle. Then I knitted 5 rows, all stitches just in the round. And after that I started a little rib pattern at the front, knit 3, purl 1, and only at the front. And then after 10, 20, 30, 40 rows I started the heel, shadow wrap short row heel. I divided my stitches in 6, 8, 6, otherwise my heel got too pointy. After that I knitted in the round again. I did knit 5 rows at the back just straight, and after that I did the pattern all over the leg, knit 3, purl 1 for 50 rows, and then I did 1 row of purling because I love the border between the different kinds of ribbing, and then a knit 1, purl 1 cuff. And I did do an Italian bind-off. It was I am not an Italian bind-off lover. I love doing it, but I'm not very fond of the look. But since I did it on my tosta tee, and I just followed the chili dog tutorial without setting up rows, it is very nice. The sock was really asking me for a tubular bind-off. Oh, would you please do a tubular bind-off on me? So who was I to ignore that? And I really love doing it, and I really love the look of it. These socks are size 37 roundabout, but I fit them too with my 38 feet. So yeah. That was all I can tell you about the sock. The second sock is also flying off the needles. I'm just knitted the heel, and now I am at the leg, so I will finish that in a minute. And these are not my colors. I don't really love purples and blues, but they are very happy socks, and it's absolutely okay. So I'm it is good to have such a knitting work laying there, and you can pick up at any minute when you are traveling by car. But also when I was cooking, it's always very dangerous to pick up knitting while you are cooking. I'm not a very talented cook, and I am very addicted knitter, so it's always hard for me to put my knitting down. But the dinner wasn't burnt, and it went out really good, and really good. Just I'm not a good cook, so it's never really good, but no one complained, so it was okay. So it's really good to have a pickup knit everywhere. I want them everywhere, so I have always something to knit on. Okay, then I have some. Oh no! I'm talking way too long again. Yesterday I finished my Montemuro socks right after dinner, and then I casted on a new project. I told a little bit about it last Monday. I did want to knit on my Corran cardigan, but I also really want to have this knit. It's for my little niece. She's 2 years old, and I saw a really lovely, adorable tee. It is the Adorable Giulia tee by Adorable Knits. Her name is Dorothy, Dorothy Officiers. She lives in Belgium, in Antwerpen. It's not far from me. And I really loved the look of this top-down raglan ribbed tee for children. It is in size, the pattern is available in Dutch and in the English. And it's in the sizes 2-year-old to 12 years old. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 years old, I guess. And my niece is 2 years old, so I made it for her. I cast it on for her that size. And I can make it the rest of her life. I am using Long Yarn's Quattro Dégradé. I ripped out my summer crop tee. I don't know if I say it right. Summer crop tee, summer short, summer secret. Jessie May, the free pattern of Jessie made. It wasn't really my thing. And I have too many things that where my heart is jumping off. That sentence not right, but you know what I mean, which makes me a lot more happy. So there's no time for knitting things that are okay but not really heart jumping. Do you know what I understand? Do you know what I understand? Of course you don't know what I understand. Do you know what I mean? But I really love this colorway for my little niece. So I ripped out this, and I'm knitting with this yarn ball, and it's a bit crinkly because it was already knitted. I didn't block it, so it is a bit curly, and you can see it in my knitting. And it was really, I was really thinking of casting on with a new yarn ball, but I didn't do it. I just hope it will block out. Let me see. I'm knitting the striped version, although this is a color changing yarn. Dorothy gives also an option for a striped version. You can make it in one color, or a hand-dyed yarn, or a speckled yarn, or a variegated yarn, or a self-striping yarn. But you can also use different yarn scraps. So it's very good for using up all your yarn scraps. But I really love the stripy one, and I chose this brown. It's also 100% cotton from Long Yarn's Quattro. So this is the dégradé version, and it's the same substitution. And I really love the browns. And my sister also loved to put on her girl brown things. I'm knitting it on my bamboo Chaugu needles. The pattern is written for 3mm needles, but the 3mm needle is not in the Chaugu set, and I don't understand. I use the 3mm needle quite often, and it was even that I thought I lost it a few weeks ago. Then I discovered that it isn't part of the set, so I didn't have one. I have fixed ones. I think I even have needle tips, but not from the set, and not the wooden one. I really want to knit with my bamboo needle, so I went down one needle size to 2.75 because it's rib stitch and I'm a loose knitter. And they are really feeling kind of fragile. I'm really scared of breaking my knitting needles, and it's not a stiff gauge. It's not a tight gauge, so it's really, there's nothing happening, but they are quite frightening me. I put on, I have in my notions pouch, I have a really lovely one, also made by Jessica from the Hinterland dresses. I'm such a spoiled lady. I have a very long cable in my notions pouch with a cable stopper at the end and also a cable connector. So I'm knitting on a quite small cable, and when I want to fit or want to look or take a picture, I remove one of my needle tips and attach the long cable. And now I have a little problem. Now I don't know if I wanted to see how the neckline was, because it looked quite wide on me. To me, I did use the German twisted cast on. It was not in the pattern, but I don't know why I did it anyway. But I cast it on the German twisted cast on, and I was a bit worried it was too wide. And then when the tee is ready, you have to pick up stitches and knit an I-cord bind off. So I thought, let's start with the I-cord bind off now, so I can see how it is. I think it's okay. My stitches are a bit dancing again, just because the yarn was crinkly, and I am a dancing knitter, I guess. I don't like it. I don't want to be. I also made a when I'm knitting socks and I'm knitting in the rib stitch and I do a next row in another color, I always knit the purl stitches straight. Because of the purl bump, I don't like it when it's that way. It wasn't in the pattern, but I did it and it wasn't working out. It wasn't necessary, so I dropped the stitches and fixed it. I make a purl stitch from those knit stitches again, but it doesn't improve my straight stitches. But I will finish this anyway. And also when I had to attach, I finished the I-cord bind off in the round. It's also a bit wobbly. I did follow the instruction, but it was just, I was not in the mood for knit. I already said I'm quite a messy person. My power is not in the details. And I thought, okay, I didn't weave in the end, so if I want to, I can always fix it afterwards. But yeah, the neckline looks quite wide, but it is a summer top. I'm not quite sure if it will be too big, but I will finish it anyway, because when it's too big now, she can wear it next year, and I will make a smaller one. There is no smaller size in the pattern, but I can make it up my own. So it's such an easy pattern. It's really beginner friendly. So I really love the stripes. The pattern is telling you so many rounds with that color, so many rounds with that color, and I really love it. So it's so nice and fun. And I really thought, oh, I want one myself too. And I saw on Dorothy's Instagram that she is designing an adult version right now with a V-shaped neckline, and that's just what I like. So I'm very curious to that one. And I also have a very lot of cotton in my yarn stash, and I really think you can use them up. The inside looks also pretty. Oh. Yeah, it's a bit wibbly bibbly right now on the needles, and I really want to be a straight knitter, but I think it will block out quite good. So I will knit on this, and it's making me very happy. And I will also pick up my Corran cardigan again, because I'm longing for that. But before I finish for today, I have a very lovely skein of yarn to show you. It was gifted to me, but it's very special. There is a Dutch dyer, a Dutch indie dyer. Her name is Janneke. She just started dyeing. I know her for several years through crafting events and whatever, so I know her for quite a long time. And she moved last year to a bigger house with a big barn, and she started to make there her own dyeing working space. And she started her own shop, and she's really a talented dyer. I think all dyers are talented, but she really dyes beautiful skeins. And she has that lovely idea that once in a while she pick up somebody she knows or she follows on Instagram, and she dyes a personal skein for that person through their color. There's a word for it. The colors that person loves of the color. And it was really nice. She had bright pink skeins and also off-white with yellow for all different persons. And a few days ago she sent me a message and she asked, Sarah, can I have your address because I want to send you something? And I was thinking, oh, did she pick me? Did she pick me? My favorite color is absolutely brown. I really am a brown lover. It's a really true deep love for brown. Granny squares and brown. And yesterday the mail came and she did dyed a skein for me. I have it's a Sarah skein and it is brown. It is such a lovely skein. With a lovely label too, and a stitch marker with a little gemstone. But it's a caramel brown with some pink and aubergine in it, and it's really, really lovely. It is such a beautiful skein. And my name is on it. Can you see it? Here, it's a Sarah. I never had It's a Sarah yarn. It is a sock yarn, superwash sock yarn, 75% blue-faced Leicester, British sheep, and 25% nylon. And it is really lovely. And she gifted this skein to me. And this morning I ordered 2 extra because I really want to try making my Stria cardigan from this one. I started my Stria cardigan with this hand-dyed yarn, but the silk in it doesn't match the brioche stitch. It's really a beautiful yarn, but not for that cardigan. And it was actually my plan to make it in a beautiful non-superwash yarn, but It's a Sarah yarn. I just need an It's a Sarah cardigan in my life. So, and I really love this color. So I ordered 2 extra skeins for that cardigan. I could also make my Mema cardigan of it, but I think I prefer the Stria cardigan for this color. So it was really a heart jumping package in the mail, and she's such a lovely lady, but it's so special when someone dyes yarn for you, and yeah, I really love it. I think it's time to quit. Yeah, it is Friday in the Netherlands. We have our Liberty Day today. We don't do celebrations for that. There are all kinds of celebrations through the country, and I think it's very good to remember how important our freedom is. And I think my freedom will be celebrated with some knitting time on the couch and a cup of tea. That's ultimate freedom at the moment for me. So I will do that, and I hope you have a nice weekend with some lovely knitting or crochet time or both, and I will see you on Monday. Thank you for watching. Bye!